Just like our father and daughter in the FS25 CGI trailer that went on a journey which started our FS25 adventure, with today's State of the Farm blog announcement, we know that our own FS25 journey is also just beginning. I applaud Giants for releasing the State of the Farm blog post, as it contains some awesome news, and I believe you can never overshare. It looks like the next 2 months are going to be very busy because there are 6 things we know that are coming to FarmSim by the end of the first quarter, which is March 31st, by the way. And it looks like Q2, which is going to run from April to June, is also going to be just as exciting because we've got things like precision farming coming. Hell yeah! Now let's run through what we know. We know from the Season Pass infographic released last year that the first DLC has a hint of innovative machinery, and it's going to be releasing in Q1. We also have patch 1.6, which I'm betting will release just before the first DLC. That's the typical behavior to include scripts and other things specifically needed for the new DLC. From last week, we know that the standalone title FarmSim VR will release at the end of February on the 28th. In addition, the first DLC, which will be paid content for anyone who did not purchase the Year 1 Season Pass, there will be a free content update and 2 remasters of the Giants maps coming within the next 8 weeks. Now, I've been looking forward to Silver Run Forest to make its way to FS25 since the launch of the game. This means that we'll have open access to the boat builder, the roller coaster, on top of the pirate ship, temple, and museum for map makers to pull apart and create their own construction missions. What could the second remaster map be? Erlengrot, Elm Creek, or Holt Betheroon? But wait, there's more. Not only did they lay out what's still to come in Q1, but teased what's coming in Q2, with the elephant in the room that no one can ignore: precision farming. At last, Giants has broken their silence on if precision farming is coming to FarmSim 25 with a resounding yes, and it looks like it's going to be between April and June of this year. In addition to precision farming, we'll have another free content update, the second of 3 DLCs coming in the Year 1 Season Pass, and most likely a minimum to the prerequisite patch to the DLC, plus even more. Of course, Giants not done once June hits. Remember, we have on tap for Q3 the 3rd DLC in the Year 1 Season Pass, sometime in the July to September timeframe, and the big expansion that we can expect in Q4 that's most likely going to include a UK or Irish style map that's going to be coming in October through December. Now, if I'm right, I would expect it to land around the Year 1 anniversary of FarmSim 25's launch. Now, speaking of estimated timeframes, if I were to take a stab at putting on timeframes for the 6 items listed in Q1, I would order them as follows. The week of February 10th through 14th, we're going to see content update number 1. February 17th to 21st is going to be the release of Silver Run Forest Remastered. Week of the 24th to the 28th, well, we know that's already going to be the release of FarmSim VR, of course. The first week in March, Giants is going to announce the first DLC. March 10th through 14th, we're going to get patch 1 through 6, followed up with March 18th, the release of the first DLC. And then finally, the second remastered map, the final full week of March 24th through the 28th. Quite some bold predictions. Now, I doubt Giants would release the DLC before FSVR. Just from the news cycle standpoint, marketing would want to not detract from the news about its release of the VR title. To that end, releasing the remastered Silver Run Forest map wouldn't detract much from the VR launch, and the free content update also wouldn't detract too much from the VR launch with respect to press releases. That's why I would put those 2 things ahead of the VR release. The next week, following the VR announcement, I think they're going to announce the DLC, because that will give us 2 weeks for Giants to have Fact Sheet Fridays about the new DLC. I think the patch is coming the following week, because that's going to give Giants up to a week to get the patch that's going to be a prerequisite for the DLC out. In past Farm Sims, we've seen as late as the day before the DLC relaunches for that patch to release. So I'm building in a little bit of a hedge there. That's where I think the 18th is a safe bet for a few weeks post the VR launch and still a week ahead of the end of Q1. And then the second remaster map coming the final week of March. How accurate are my guesses? Won't be long until we find out, huh? If you're not a subscriber to this channel, then please think about doing so. Be one of the first to hear about the latest official developments in Farm Sim 25, or if anything else, it might be worthwhile hearing my take on things. Until next time, happy farming!